In this section, I want to talk about PPP over Ethernet. So this is kind of connection that ISPs use mostly. And in this type of connection, I have some abilities such as selecting the type of connection that I am going to create, that is PPP connection. And I can use this PPP features such as accounting, such as reliability and management, and a lot of other features that PPP incorporates into itself. And users can use their DSL modems, such as DSL or cable modems, to connect to me. What I'm going to do is this: use Ethernet 2 interface of ISP1 to give router 3 PPP over Ethernet connection. And of course, router 3 will receive IP address for its Ethernet 3 from ISP1. So I'm going to create this scenario in my case and show you how you can do this. Okay, let's go to ISP1 first of all. What I am going to do is to create some things here. The first thing that I want to create is IP pool. So I go to IP and select pool from here, and I am going to assign a range of IP addresses to my clients. So which interface I'm going to assign? Interface Ethernet 2 is the interface that I'm going to assign. And as you can see, I have 31.31.31 as my IP address on Ethernet 2. So I prefer to assign an IP address from this range. So let's go back to here, click on pool. The name is going to be pool 1, that's okay. And range of IP addresses start from 31, 31, 31, for example, 154. I type a dash here and type 31, 31, 31, 254. So I start from 154 and into 254. And the name is going to be pool 1. That's okay for my name. Click on OK. Now I have a range of IP addresses to assign to my clients. Okay, now that I have a pool, I need to go to PPP menu. Click on PPP, and as you can see, I have interfaces. I have PPPoE servers. I can create one here. And I have secrets. You know what it is. I have active connection, and you know what it is again. And I have profiles. So first of all, let's create a profile. We have two default profiles. I'm not going to work with them. I just click on this plus sign and name this, for example, PPPoE profile. This is to distinguish it easier. And what is my local address? You know that my local address is 31.31.31.100. And what is my remote address going to be? So I am going to assign pool 1 to remote address. Any address from this pool is quite okay. So if I had IPv6 prefix, I could type it here. I'm not going to use this. I just have this pool as my remote address. So users will receive addresses from this pool, and any of the users that have one of these IP addresses automatically will go under this profile. So I can change some other things, such as changing the protocols, such as MPLS or user compression, encryption, or anything else. Just click on OK. This is the profile I just created for my pool. Now the next thing is to create my users. Let's go to secrets and create my users just as I had created previously. So users, for example, user 1 is one of my users that has a password of 123456, and the service that is using is PPPoE, and I can of course use any for all type of services, but PPPoE is specialized. And the profile that it is going to use is my PPPoE profile that I just created. Now I have everything set up in this side of server. So let me check this out again. I have my user set up here that is using the right profile. Now I have created a profile and I have created a pool. The only thing that I need to activate is add an interface for my purpose. So I click on here, and as you can see, I have PPPoE server. And what I'm going to do is to make this router a PPPoE server. Now I need some items here, for example the name of the server. And if you have worked with previous versions of MikroTik, you can see that there are a lot of differences here. Here you do not need to specify an interface, and you do not need to add a service name, but I prefer to add a service name. For example, internet is the service name that I am adding here. Okay? Now, let me cancel this out and go to PPPoE servers and do this here. If I click on this plus sign, now you can see that I have a service name that is service1, but I prefer to rename it to internet, and the interface that I am using is Ethernet 2 per my diagram. And let's go back here. I can have a default profile that is a PPPoE profile, and I can select types of authentication that I want to have on my client side. I prefer to remove these types and have the most secure type of connection that I want to have. So I have a server with the right profile. I have set users, and I have set profiles, and I have set my IP pools. These are 4 steps that you need to take to make a router a PPP over Ethernet server. Now I need to go to router 3 and remove the address on Ethernet 3 so that it is going to receive the IP address from ISP1, and it is going to make a successful connection to ISP1. So let's go to router 3 right now. This is my router 3. Let me close these windows that I have open from my previous sections and go to IP addresses. This is Ethernet 3, so I'm going to remove this IP address from the list of IP addresses. Close this. And now I need to create an interface of type PPPoE client. And I guess this is in my capture area if you can see it, but it's under interfaces. Click on PPPoE client. The name can be anything. The interface that I'm going to use is Ethernet 3 here. In my diagram, that's Ethernet 3. And let's go to dial out. Here I'm going to use user 1. This is the user that I created on ISP. This is the password that is going to use. And now that I have added the password and the username and the service name, is there a service name here? No, nothing. So these are the only options that I need to create this. But here I have service. I can type the service name that I used there, that is internet. And these are the authentication types. I can change it. And that's it. I have created this for my purpose. Clicking on apply, waiting for the status change. You can see that the status connected and it is running. So click on OK, and I just want to see IP address that it has received. If I go to IP addresses, I can see that this is dynamically received from my ISP and the connection is made successfully. So everything is working just fine here, and I have created this type of connection to my ISP.